6,000 bombs in 1 month. So to drop 6,000 into a tiny strip of land in 6 days, when you don't have the arsenal of aircraft that entire coalition of countries did, means
in
you
400 meters at the roundabout, take the second exit onto the Nova Scotia 104 East Trans-Canada Highway ramp to Antigonish, Cape Breton.
Or post-strike battle damage assessments. You simply cannot, if you're working at that pace, it is nearly physically impossible to do so. So when I read the 972 magazine investigation and saw military officials being quoted, Israeli officials being quoted talking about the intensity of that campaign and the use of technology and AI, I was not surprised, because to conduct something at that pace, 6,000 bombs in 6 days, by Israel's own admission, into a tiny strip of land by a single military, that is stunning. That is nearly impossible if you were doing the kinds of pre-strike surveillance or post-strike assessment that modern militaries claim to do.
In response to 972 magazine's investigations, the Israel Defense Forces maintained, quote, "The targets are legitimate targets for attack in accordance with the conditions set forth in IDF directives and international law."
Indiscriminate bombing across Japan by the US forces for about 8 months in 1945 killed some 560,000 people. In addition, about 500,000 people survived, and 60% of whom were children and women. It's like a Gaza situation now. Many of the children were orphaned, and the women were widowed. They endured many years of hardship after the war. Sadly, this tragedy has been repeated numerous times worldwide in the last 100 years or so, and we as humans have miserably failed to prevent it. In 1908, H.G. Wells published the novel called The War in the Air.
Right onto Park Street.
This novel predicted the destructive power of bombers on both the human body and mind of the enemy. It explores the potential consequences of technological advancement in warfare and offers criticism of weapon development. The novel contains astute prediction of the future. The story depicts a world where technological progress makes politics and morality irrelevant. This leads to the destruction of modern civilization by bombers, resulting in worldwide starvation and political uprising. They also suggest that the aerial bombardment would strip human beings of their moral and ethical character.
It was only very slowly that Bert got hold of this idea, that the whole world was at war, that he formed any image at all of the crowded countries south of these Arctic solitudes, stricken with terror and dismay as these newborn aerial navies swept across their skies. He was not used to thinking of the world as a whole, but as a limitless hinterland of happenings beyond the range of his immediate vision. War, in his imagination, was something, a source of news and emotion that happened in a restricted area, called the seat of war. But now, the whole atmosphere was the seat of war, and every land a cockpit.
This is a really interesting novel. I mean, the prediction of he elaborated in 1908 was really astonishing. I think subsequent history has shown that this is clear. This is a fact. So it's important to remember that indiscriminate bombing and mass killing of civilians have never brought an end to any war. In fact, such a strategy typically strengthens the resistance. There is abundant evidence to support this. So I don't know how we can stop this indiscriminate bombing, but
turn right onto
it's very
Sherbrooke
difficult
Road,
to
Nova
question how to
Scotia
stop it.
347 South, then
Somehow,
turn right onto Breezeville Loop.
it's true that the bombing civilians and killing civilians actually destroyed our moral, especially the moral of politicians and media leaders.
Turn right onto Breezeville Loop, then your destination will be on the right.